everyone, it's Pam and I'm here with my monthly update video telling you everything that I've been up to in the month of October. And this video, I have MacLeod joining me. He's usually not in my videos, but I think he's probably going to be behind me for this whole thing. So starting with podcasts, as normal, my own podcast Media Mavens had 3 episodes that came out this month. 2 of them were just myself and Riley talking about what we've been up to and answering listener questions. I particularly liked episode 40. I think that was sort of one of our best episodes with just the 2 of us. We had a lot to talk about. We both saw It. Riley watched The Handmaid's Tale, which we had a lot to say about. I gave my thoughts on the new Star Trek Discovery. 41 was just the 2 of us as well, and then 42 came out on October 30th, so that was our horror episode, and for that we had a guest, Kate, who is a writer in video games, and a horror writer specifically, so we had a really good talk with her about sort of why we love horror and what we take out of it, and, you know, some of our favorites. We answered a bunch of listener questions, so go check out those episodes if you haven't already. So the other big thing I did in October was attend RetroWorld Expo in Hartford, Connecticut, and it was the second time I went to this particular convention, and I had a lot of fun. It was really nice because this year it was in a much larger venue with a hotel attached to it. The venue last time was a little small. It was still good. I really liked the show last year, but this time it had a much bigger vendor floor, a free play area. There was a lot of arcades to play. There was an auction, which was a lot of fun. My favorite thing, though, about attending these conventions is just seeing all my friends. So I saw everyone from RF Generation again, Duke Togo and Wild Bill and Single Banana and many more people. I saw a few people from RetroWare, and I got to see a lot of panels that were pretty interesting. There was a really interesting one on games literacy. I saw Norm, the gaming historian's panel, which is always a lot of fun, and I always love his not Jeopardy that he does at the end of that. I saw Wood from Beat 'em Ups, and I was actually on my own panel, which was a bit of a surprise. It wasn't something that I knew about until I think the Thursday before the convention started. Apparently someone sort of pulled out last minute, so Mike Tendo from Dude You Haven't Played This Game asked who else was going to be at the show, if anyone wanted to do a panel, so I ended up doing one with him and Rewind Mike, whose channel is great and you should check out, and you should check out Mike Tendo's from Dude You Haven't Played This Game Yet, and also RGT85. So we did a panel on retro remasters and reboots, just talking about the plethora of games that have sort of been re-released in some form or another over the last few years, and which ones were worth playing, which ones weren't, which ones sort of moved the game series forward, and which were kind of unnecessary. Yeah, it was good. It was kind of a good experience. But overall, RetroWorld Expo was great. I'm going to show you some of the things I picked up there, and yeah, it was just great to see everyone. So as for pickups, I'll go over the things I got at RetroWorld Expo first. I picked up a copy of Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. I really like this game. I don't remember it all that much because I only played it once and it was a long time ago. They just announced the first batch of original Xbox games that are backwards compatible on the Xbox One now, and the first KOTOR was on that, so I'm really hoping that the second one is added to that program sometime in the future, because I'd prefer to play it on a newer console than have to dig out the original Xbox. We also, as I said, we saw Norm, the gaming historian, so we bought his Blu-ray of all of his, or a selection of his episodes, and he signed it for us. Go Jays go. He actually gave Will a Blue Jays pennant, which was awesome because I actually remember having that exact same pennant in my room as a kid, so that was really nice of him to give that to Will. Will found me a strategy guide that he thought I'd like, and this is for Lost Odyssey, which is one of my favorite JRPGs, and actually the last JRPG that I ever really enjoyed. So he found this for $1, which is amazing. You might see this game featured in another video coming out soon. I also got this cute little alien print. I like it. It's sort of pink and purple colors, and he's kind of cute but still kind of scary. So that's my little alien. And then this thing I found, it was just sort of in a box of junk, basically. There was a bunch of sort of old CD, PC games, nothing boxed or anything, and manuals. So I looked through it and I found this. It's called the Book of Patterns, and I was like, that looks familiar. I feel like I know what that is. And what it is the Spellweaver guide from the PC adventure game Loom. So it shows all of the notes for all the different spells when you play Loom. So I remember having this when I was a kid. So this is all I have. I don't have the box, I don't have the game, I don't have the actual manual, but this is nice. It's got nice little art, and maybe I can put myself together a little Loom box one of these days. And the guy gave me this for free, so that was nice. And the last couple things, my birthday was actually on October 4th, so one of the things that Will got me was the Pandora Directive Big Box PC. I'm really excited about this. Now it sits next to Under a Killing Moon on my shelf, so now I just need Overseer to... And that won't complete the Tex Murphy collection, but it'll complete the ones that I played and the ones that I want to recapture. So it's very nice, in a nice shape. I'll show you what's in it. So there's the user guide, which is just a small little user guide. It's got all the inserts and things, registration. What's this? Oh, a little pamphlet for Under a Killing Moon. Link's Golf, which is the other software that Access was known for. And then there's just the discs. So there are 6 discs. This was a disc swapping nightmare. I mean, I say that, but I really love this game. I remember playing this, and I had discs 5 and 6, I think, would stop working on me so often. I used to write into Access software, like, it seemed like every couple weeks, say, my disc doesn't work, and they'd send me a new one. I feel like I had probably 4 disc 6s and 3 disc 5s, because I had problems with them, but they were always really super nice and always sent me the new discs. So I'm happy to have this complete again and back on my shelf. And the last thing, and something that I've really been looking forward to, is Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. I picked this up on release day. I actually took the day off work, went to Best Buy first thing in the morning, got it, played it for about 6 hours. I haven't finished the game yet. It says I'm about 80% through the story so far, but it is fantastic. I love the story and the characters and the cutscenes even more in this game than in the first game. The only thing I'm having trouble with, well, not so much trouble, but this is a much harder game than the first one. I played Wolfenstein 1 on the normal difficulty. I forget what it's called. They've all got clever names. But I didn't have too much trouble with that. With this, I've been having to put it on easy a lot. Like, I tend to sort of drop down to easy when I need to and then put it back to normal. But this game is much, much harder than the first one. And I found a lot of other people feel that way. So I don't know. It's sort of a pride thing, just not wanting to put it on easy. But the game is really fantastic. I like a lot of the weapons. There's a lot of setting Nazis on fire, which I'm particularly fond of. So I should finish this game in, probably a couple days, because I think I'm close to the end. But happy to have the second Wolfenstein. So I've basically started telling you what I've been playing, so I guess we'll continue with that now. One of the things that I finished this month after a long time was Axiom Verge, and it's one of those games where I was just sort of plodding my way through it. I think I have been playing Axiom Verge since March, So it's been a long time. So in October, I finally finished the game. I really liked it. I really liked how you got so many new abilities and things as you went through the game. The ending was very satisfying. I really liked a lot of the boss fights. And it's actually made me want to try a Metroid game for the first time. So I think I might play Super Metroid sometime in the future, maybe review it. But Axiom Verge was really good. So after playing and reviewing The Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition not too long ago, I decided I also wanted to play Monkey Island 2, LeChuck's Revenge. And I didn't think I had ever played this game before, but once I got a little bit into it, I was like, oh, this is familiar. The spitting contest in particular, I was like, oh, I've definitely done this before. So I played through it, and I didn't like it nearly as much as the original Monkey Island, and maybe it is just because I know what I'm doing in the first game already, so I don't get stuck as much. But I found the fact that it was split among 3 islands really frustrating and time-consuming. I felt like I was always just hopping between them, and it took so much time, and every time I figured out I was missing something from another island and I just had to backtrack all the way back there. I ended up getting really frustrated with the game. I did finish it, but it wasn't as good as the first Monkey Island for me. One of the other games that came out, I think it came out in October, that I was looking forward to for a long time was Cuphead, and so I've been playing that, and it's really good. At first I wasn't quite sure about it. I've played a fair amount of run and guns in the past, and I'm used to them being like level and then the boss at the end of the level, where in Cuphead they completely separate them. So there's sort of like the run and gun stages, and then there's the boss fight stages. And the first boss fights were a little dull because there wasn't any movement in them. Like, there was a little bit of, trees rustling or whatever in the background, but you weren't actually vertically or horizontally scrolling. So I found those first boss fights a little, I don't know, they were just kind of boring. Like, they weren't visually stimulating enough. But once I got a little further into the game, they've gotten much, much better. It's just a gorgeous game. The animation is fantastic. The jazzy music and the little call-outs when it starts the bout, as they call it, as you start a fight. There's some cool power-ups, and it's just really, really challenging. There's a little pool once you get to the second world, and it will tell you how many times you failed. And last time I checked, I was at 189, and I'm currently 50% through the game. But it's good enough that I don't want to just throw my controller away in frustration. I actually just want to keep playing and want to keep getting better. So I've really been enjoying it. It's been difficult. Like, some bosses take me so many attempts, but I have yet to try the simple mode. I've been doing everything on normal mode, so it's a lot of fun. I've kind of been playing it on and off, though, because I find when I start getting frustrated, I grip the controller really tight and my hands start cramping up, so I can only play it for certain amounts of time at once. I have also tried the 2-player co-op with Will, and I am abysmal at it. Like, I'm okay at the normal game, but when there's a second figure on the screen, I always forget which character I am. I think I'm the other one. I think I'm dodging, but actually no, I'm over on this other side of the screen dying. So I find the 2-player mode really, really difficult. Like, I haven't been able to do anything. He just basically waits for me to die, and then he beats the level because, I don't know, I can beat them by myself, but as soon as I have a second figure sending their own projectiles out, it's just like too much going on and I can't keep track of things. But I'm really enjoying Cuphead on single player. Yet another game I've been waiting to play is Divinity Original Sin 2, which was another thing that Will got me for my birthday. So this is obviously the follow-up to Divinity Original Sin 1, and I think I'm about 20 hours in so far. It's a computer role-playing game with turn-based combat, and it is really fantastic so far. I liked the first game, but the first game felt like it was meant to be a co-op game, and I really have no desire to play a CRPG with a lot of text and turn-based combat with anyone else. Like, it doesn't seem like it would be fun. I mean, I'm sure people do have fun with it, but it's not something that appeals to me, and I don't really have anyone that I would play that kind of game with. So the first game had this, like, rock, paper, scissors thing, because you were playing two characters at once, and if they disagreed, you need to work it out, and that kind of just bothered me. So in this game, I think though there is multiplayer, it's more of a single player experience. I have this one character, and I've got, NPCs in my party, but I can focus on what my one character wants to do and make decisions and not have to do that kind of randomized decision making. So Divinity Original Sin, really, really good, really great combat system, a lot of different spells to use, and I'm really liking the story so far. So I'll be playing probably a lot more of that in November. So I think I'm going to end it there because I feel like I've been talking for a very long time. I did replay a few things. I replayed Oxenfree and Gone Home because they were free with Games with Gold lately, and I still really enjoy those games. But I'll talk more probably about Wolfenstein and maybe Divinity Original Sin 2 in my next video, since I should finish them there. Feel free to let me know what you've been up to, any pickups, anything you've been playing, that kind of stuff. You can leave me a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, Max Moo. Hey, Max Moo. Do you like being on camera, buddy? Yeah?